because we are focusing on Solana and this first cohort now, everybody here, I'm seeing Neutral Volta, this other person, Chukwemeka. I'm going to drop a link to a major community, the Nigerian community for Solana. We've dropped the link in the group on Telegram group, so you guys join there. Now it's very important. Super Team Nigeria, it's super supportive about to their dev community. So you're going to meet people like Uncle Tochi here and every other person who assists you in getting more integrated, acquainted with the Web3 development space. So this is just like a little intro from me, and I'm going to hand over this mic. Or if you have any question for this intro, you can ask me, and then I'm going to hand over the mic to. I'm not a deaf person, right? We already have a midday here who's going to take you on the intro and show you. He'll be sharing his screen and walk you through um walk you through what you need to know about the introduction and then tomorrow subsequently. But I believe we're going to have a swell time. I believe even myself, that is not even a tech person, I'm going to like pick one or two things from these classes. So thank you once again for agreeing to come on this interesting and educative journey with us. So I don't know, did any of you have any challenge? This is a Web3 version of Zoom. The Zoom you are used, but this is the Web3 version. So, but I don't know if you had any challenge with it. I can always communicate back to, because we are partners um, with the platform. Can always communicate back to them if there's any challenge at all. Um, so, but regardless, I'm handing over the mic. Okay, let me allow Mide and um, Uncle Tochi to introduce themselves. So, Tochi, can go introduce yourself and
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Chuku. Popular with Uncle. I've been a Web3 developer since basically last year. Though my interest has been for a while, but it's mainly been last year. Majorly been developing on the Solana blockchain, and I got noticed recently when I won the Solana hackathon. Yeah, with the product I'm working on currently, Cluster. So that's it about me. Yeah.
thank you, thank you, Kotochi. Mide, Mide, if you are speaking, your mic is muted.
Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a pleasure meeting everyone here. Uh, it's your willingness to show up, right, for a meeting like this already shows that you're ready to learn and everything. So I really appreciate the learners that turned up today. So am I to give a background about myself?
Just give a brief intro, and then you are the facilitator for the day, so you can take up from there.
All right. So about me, I'm a blockchain developer. Unlike the other devs here that are solely, that's not solely, but are very much inclined in the Solana ecosystem. I am more of an Ethereum guy. Yeah. So what drew me into this space? I came from a background of online digital marketing and stuff. Then I heard about an opportunity to take some of those skills we had back then into a new and growing ecosystem that would kind of like reward and give you better incentives for the activities we were already used to. That was how I heard about cryptocurrency. I actually got onboarded into the space through crypto exchange and crypto trading. So I started my journey, even did something around there was this whole pyramid scheme, smart contract stuff that people were really hyping back then in 2020. So I got into it. That was the first time I ever heard about the whole concept of smart contract. Then in 2022, when the whole hype around crypto, NFTs, trading, bull market, when everything dropped, there was a lot of quiet in the space. And I finally got to get inquisitive about the tech behind the whole thing we've been doing for like the past 2 years. So that was when I, for the first time, delved into um, blockchain development and started learning about programming. So if there's anybody who can actually relate to developers who are trying to learn a new skill and start something for themselves, even if you are coming from a place of no knowledge or no background knowledge about tech, programming and stuff. Yeah, I am for sure like your best guy in that area. Of course, I can completely relate. Yeah, so that's that about me, and I look forward to like learning about you guys very soon. Yeah, so over to you, Valucop.
Victor. Mm.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Mide, for that intro. So yeah, so officially, um, we're starting today. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Mide. Take introduction, walk them through, uh, just like curriculum says, the concept of Web3, decentralization, and all of that. So over to you, Mide.
So, um, like I was saying initially, as part of
Sorry. You can share your screen, right? There's I don't know if you can see the share if you want to. There's a screen share option there, so you can share your screen. You can, you know, I know this is a that's if you want to, if you have something to share, yeah, make it more visual. Thank you.
all right, I am not sharing screen for now. Since let's just do a quick introduction. Yeah, so let's not delve into the 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 full concept. Let's just have like an overview understanding of what we are doing for now. So like I got to understand the concept, and a lot of people used to say the whole concept about Web3 and blockchain, as we all know, is decentralization. So it stands on a tripod actually. If you are a church person, you have you have an understanding of what you talk about tripod and stuff. So just like a tripod that we use for video creation, like three legs. So when I say tripod, we are talking about three legs basically. So the whole concept of blockchain generally, and this is like the highest level overview, stands on a tripod. That's three legs, and the first is decentralization, the second is ownership, and the third is security. Yeah, and security also comes with privacy as well. So for this is definitely everything that Web3 is all about. So forget all the ZKs, forget all the layer ones, layer zero, layer one, layer two, layer three. Everything around Web3 is basically centered around these three things. So how the whole concept of decentralization came about, and this is something like people don't get to know often, because I think if you really want to understand why we are talking about Web3, obviously there should be like a Web1, right? So Web3 is not something new actually. the whole concept of decentralization is not something new, right? If you look at the history of the internet and everything, Web3 is basically trying to take the internet back to where it was. Now, when developers write code, they make it open source, they make it, when I say open source, it means they make the code public to people, right? This was what the internet was actually. And when people are talking about the internet today, the real hero, right, of everything we do now about websites and stuff is a man called Tim Berners-Lee. And if you have the time, you can go and look him up. I actually did a research about 2 years ago on this whole concept. So Tim Berners-Lee was actually the first person that wrote the code for like what we have now about the web generally. He wrote the code. I can't really like get the year, but he wrote the code and he made the code for the internet like open source. Now, when he did this, like a lot of people had like access to it. And this is like the beauty of the internet before the big guys came on board. So the whole idea behind creating the web, at least coming from the founder himself, right, was that we should have an ecosystem where people, can get ideas to build applications, and these things should be like without restrictions. And that's why you have the internet where a lot of people are connected, and there is really no one source that is powering the internet. So that is why it is impossible for anybody, any government, any group to stand up and say they want to like shut down the internet. No, that is literally like the whole idea. So if you look at it to what we are advocating today, right, is similar to the blockchain concept, right, where nobody can look up today and say he wants to shut down Ethereum. No, because that is really like what the internet is supposed to be. And it's supposed to be secure also, right? But since we are talking about decentralization now, after the whole Web1 thing, and people started talking about creating websites with HTML and all of those things, then some people, right, that were early on into the technology saw other opportunities, right, to make the internet better than what it was at that time, right? And that was when we started having people come in to do like some other things, made the internet interactive. So unlike all these early pages where people just go, you just read. The internet was basically read only, right? They made the whole internet interactive. So you could comment, you could actually post, you could write to the internet, right? Then in the process of trying to make the whole ecosystem better, right, the community, the world generally lost the first values of what the internet is supposed to be. And that was when Web2 came in, and a lot of big players came in and they monopolized the internet. So unlike before, where as a developer you see something like online and you want to recreate it, you can just go to the repository where the code is being deposited and just clone it and make a version of it yourself. No, people started like people started gatekeeping their codes and everything. Then Web2 came in basically. So users' data started becoming locked in data silos and it was being traded, right? And there are a lot of serious cases, and one of the famous ones is the Facebook Donald Trump campaign, where trillions of dollars were spent in buying data, right? Data was being used, people were retargeted, right? It was basically a very crazy thing, and people felt, okay, this is enough, right? And following the whole Bitcoin revolution, because that was where it all started, and Vitalik that's the founder of Ethereum, saw an opportunity to create applications on the blockchain. um Den we started having apps that are being decentralized, and people felt okay, now let's take the internet like back to what it was initially. So the whole concept of decentralization, right, looking at it now, and I've already given you what it was before. Now it's basically just telling people that they want, like, it's time for you to own your data, right? It's time for us to not take crazy risks, right? In cases where we trust our data, our data, basically information, right, on centralized servers that we all know that are prone to attack, right? So decentralization, the whole decentralization concept came into being. So today, if we ask, okay, what is decentralization? Developers also, right? Because number one, yes, decentralization generally, like, no, we all know that, okay, yes, it is making things secure, and looking at it from the application point of view, which I will also come into decentralized apps, but I'll get there in a minute. But from the human perspective, right, what it does is it creates an open ground, an open floor, right, for people to come in and participate. So a normal guy like myself from Nigeria, I don't know if everyone here is from Nigeria, but an average guy like myself from Nigeria can dream of creating like a decentralized application that would hold billions of dollars, right? Why? Because somebody somewhere, right, made it open source, and I don't need to worry about like setting up the structure for this application to run on. If I were to do that in normal web 2, I would be paying heavy amount of money, right, to platforms like AWS and other hosting platforms, right. I'm talking about like thousands of dollars monthly, weekly, depending on how large your user base is, right. But today, right, with the current state of decentralization as we have it, I can create my own version of Radium, my own version of Jupiter Swap, my own version of Uniswap, and host it online, right, literally without like breaking the bank. So from the developer standpoint, that is the beauty of it. So yes, I was talking about decentralized apps. So this is decentralization in the ecosystem of applications. So what it does basically, compared to its counterparts, that's centralized apps. So I'm going to break this down like to like the understanding of a 5-year old, right? Because this is something that I had to come into terms with. Being someone that started programming from Web 3, it was really difficult for me to start hosting applications in the normal Web 2 way, right? So the way things work, right, when we talk about Web 2 and a lot of websites and applications that we have now, is that as a developer, when you write a code, you basically deploy it on, let's say, a server, maybe one that you are hosting yourself. Maybe you have your own computers that are running it for you, or something they call nodes, right, that are running it for you, or you use a shared hosting, or you do a cloud hosting, whatever it is. You are basically deploying that code on a computer system or a network of computer system. No, on a computer system, right? So that is basically what it is. So to the easiest understanding, right, if you are completely new, is like your application is an app. No, your application is a house, like a building, and you build it like on a land. So that land has its own address, right? And that's where the whole domain and whatever comes into place. So your application, that is your house, lives on a particular land. So that is like the easiest explanation of like website and application, how dey work. So if you want to access your app, you basically go to that address, right, that is posted in a particular location. So that location is like a single spot. That is why they call it like a centralized server, because it is like in a single spot. So if attackers want to attack that app, they know where it is, and once they take down that structure in that particular land, like it goes down, and that is the end of your application, that is the end of your building, right? So compared to what we have it now, your application, yes, is still like your house, but when you take it to like the blockchain, you don't just have your house like in one particular location, right? You have it in multiple locations across different countries in different continents. So even if an attacker comes to take down your building in a particular address, right, you still have it in different places. So that is basically like decentralization in the concept of like decentralized apps. So what it does is it is very, very, very like secure, and gives you like a protection across your around your application. So that was what Ethereum brought in. That's like the major invention, right, or innovation that Ethereum brought into space. So and we started having different blockchains also coming with different solutions. And when we look at the two big guys, the two big boys in the world of decentralized applications, and this is actually a how will I say it now? It is undisputed, right? Is we have Ethereum and Solana. So the major difference between the two, of course, yes, they run on different they are actually two different things living in two different worlds, right? But they do the same thing. And where Solana thrives is the fact that it is faster than its counterpart Ethereum, right? And it's very, very, very affordable, right, compared to Ethereum. So let me not go deep into explaining all of these concepts. I hope that with the little I've said, you kind of like have an understanding of where decentralization came from, why it is a thing now, and where it is now. So let me know if you guys have any question, or if everything I've said I was just talking to myself. So does anyone have a question? Please, if you do have a question, I don't know if there's a chat box. Okay, there's a chat box here. Oh, there are actually questions. Wow. Okay, please, if you have questions, please just leave them in the chat box. Let's see. I don't know if this question is for me, Chukwu. But let me know if you guys have any questions. If you did not understand anything I said, just let me know. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, so someone who doesn't have a strong background in programming, what can the person do to flow with the course? All right, yeah, so I said initially when I was making the introduction that I also did not have a programming background. Like, I did not study computer science. I studied law. Yes, so I also did not have a background in programming. But one thing I did, right, if you want to flow with a course like this, one thing I did was, now when you are taking a course like this, especially when we'll be talking about Solana, Ethereum, you are going to come across a lot of concepts that you don't understand, right? So one thing that is no doubt actually, right? It's a fact. You will come across a lot of terms you don't understand. You come across a lot of thought cycles that you don't understand, that you're not familiar with. You come across a lot of patterns that you are not familiar with. But the problem is you now like dwelling in the problem, right? If you take a course like this, for instance, and I say something and I teach, for instance, like I talk about smart contracts and blockchain, for you that don't have like a lot of understanding or any background, any programming background, what you should do is you should try to be curious, right? You should try to research things on your own, and you should not shy away, right? Don't shy away from asking questions, right? Whoever you ask questions, right, the two things you want from that person, number one is to simplify things for you. Secondly, to or either they simplify the thing for you or they point you to places where you can understand it. So the honest truth which I like to tell myself and I like to tell people so you can quickly understand what it is that you are going into is that programming is it's a very interesting ride, right? And you are going to like be spending a lot of time like doing your own personal research, and you would have to like learn a lot. Yeah, I skipped a thought, sorry. The truth is that you are going to be putting in a lot more effort, right, than people who had like programming experience. Do you understand me? Right? If let's say who is on this call, let me see. If Abuye now already knows C plus plus, Java, what are those languages? Um Python and all of those languages. I cannot be putting in the same effort, right? Me that I am struggling to understand HTML, I'm not definitely on the same level with Abu, who is already like a guru in all of these low level programming languages. But one thing you want to focus on, right, on your journey as a completely newbie to programming is every day don't try to be better than Abu. Don't match yourself with Abu. You should always, right, compare yourself to where you were yesterday. So your goal in this course is not to be like to be better than Vitalik in programming. No, it should be better than where you were yesterday, right? Or where you were at the point of this course. So it might be in terms of theory, it might be in terms of writing the actual code, right? Or it might even be in terms of knowing the right tools to do the specific tasks that you want to execute. So you'll be exposed to tools, you'll be exposed to materials, you'll be exposed to theoretical concepts, right, that are surrounding programming, tools to help you, right, and materials to guide you, right. So once you get those things, obviously if you use them correctly, you would be way better, right, than where you were yesterday. So your competition, right, is to be 1% like better every single day you write code. And this was something I held to heart like right from the start of my journey. I usually write code on online IDEs, right, and I never even knew about this language they call Scratch, right, until I took this computer science course on YouTube from CS50, like this Harvard free course that they usually do. I never knew there was a language like that, but I knew it. I got to know about it like later on. I never used it because I don't think it's relevant. But the summary is that just make sure that like every day you are getting better in terms of knowledge, in terms of your ability to use tools, and in terms of your ability to write code. So if you learn Solidity, or if you learn the basics of Rust, take that as a win, and tomorrow your goal should be to be able to do something better with it. Or if it's to maybe create SPL tokens today, tomorrow you are already creating like NFTs, tomorrow you are already creating like swaps, you are already creating, what else do we have in Web3? You're already creating minting apps, whatever it is, just like keep like getting better and better every day. Yeah, so I don't know if that helped. That was a lot of motivation. Since I don't know if I got your question right. Are you talking about the Odoo app? So what makes this application a Web3 application? Are you talking about Odoo, or what are you talking about, please? Okay, guys, please just ask your questions. Okay, okay. Another question from Chukwuebuka. How many hours a day do you think someone in this category should dedicate in this course? Yeah, that's a very good question actually. That's a very good question. That's a very good one. So like I said, first off, your goal, right, should be to be 1% better than you were yesterday. So for me personally, there are days where I've written I've spent like, I think the maximum I've done is about 19 or 18 hours a day. There's this tool I used to track it. But what I'll actually advise, if you are just starting, you can start with 5 minutes. Trust me. Just set set a goal for yourself, right? Because this is not something you are used to. You are not used to coding, you are not, except you are one person that you are naturally uh used to spending a lot of time with your computer. But if you are someone who is not used to spending time on your computer, just set this goal for yourself. Like in 7 days, show up in writing code for 5 minutes a day, right? If you can achieve that goal in the coming week, or ex ten d the time to 10 minutes, ex ten d the time to 15, then to 30, then to an hour, then just make sure that regularly you are like outperforming yourself every single time, like you show up writing code. Yeah, so that's literally like the answer to that question. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah, so you would like to know the duration for each session. I think um Victoria should be able to answer that question. Yeah, I am not the one in charge of like the whole the whole management. Yes, so who else has a question? And please let me know if my time is up and how much time I have left also. Yeah, you're welcome. So is there any other question for me?
Okay. Okay. So there's another question here. Another question from Chukwebuka.
Okay, okay, there's another question. All right. I so much love the questions you're asking. Yes, because these are valid questions. So in the process of coding, if you get to a point where nothing makes sense, what do you do? This is something that still happened to me today. This is something that still happened to me today. I am working on an application for one of the projects I work with, and I hit that blank spot. So if you are in the process of like coding and nothing makes sense, to me the best thing to do is to just stand up, like take a walk, take a break, like we say in the Web3 space, go and touch grass. Touch grass means just go out, pour water on your head and do something else aside from coding, trust me. So that's like the best thing you need to do. But if you are in a situation where you are in dire need of like solution, it's a different case where you don't know what to do, you're trying to figure a bug. So the best thing to do, the best thing to do is okay, sorry, I'm trying to do something else. Yes, so to answer your question in short, the best thing to do is if you are trying to solve a bug, what you should do is there are like three things you should do. First of all, try to solve the problem on your own. If you are going to that spot where you don't know what to do, take the error or whatever you are doing, go and look for it on Google. Search for a solution on Google, right? It's something I still do to date. Just take the error message, search for it. Then obviously if it is a common library or a common programming language, right, somebody out there would have experienced that problem before. And it amazes me how I see that a problem I'm experiencing today, and I check platforms like Stack Exchange, um Stack Exchange and a lot of them out there, you see 12 years ago, 14 years ago, people have actually experienced these things. If you don't still find a solution, the new solution in town is to use like tools like ChatGPT. ChatGPT can help you out, right? If ChatGPT can't help you, if it is a library that has a community, right, like a Discord platform, a Slack platform, a Reddit. The projects really do have Reddit these days, but maybe like there's a community on Reddit. Just go to like all those their community groups and ask your questions there. You can get help. If it doesn't work, talk to somebody. And this is very important, right? Community is actually very key, right? The host earlier on was talking about joining a Solana community earlier on. So join those type of communities, make friends. Some of the guys today that we built like projects, I met them in classes like this. Like not even some, all of the guys, I met them in classes like this. So just reach out to them, ask your mentors, ask anybody, right? And one of these will surely work, trust me. Alright, so Neo Travolta says, since you made mention of Web 1, Web 2 and Web 3, will there be anything like 4 and will there be anything beyond decentralization? And the correct answer to that question is capital yes. Yes. So I don't want to start like overwhelming you guys with a lot of things. But one thing you should just know, and that was why I gave you guys this uncommon history about the internet, is that yes, there will be Web 4. In fact, there's already something they call Web 5. Just know that all of those things don't matter, right? Somebody tomorrow can push a narrative about Web 7 as the heaven of the new internet. Yes, trust me, things like that are going to happen, right? Just keep your focus and know that as a programmer, as a developer, your goal is to solve problems, right? So yes, they will create the hype and everything, but it doesn't matter. Yes, there will be things beyond decentralization. There are a lot of concepts coming in every day, right? For an Ethereum guy like me, there's something they call like Ethereum proposals. People are making proposals every single hour, right? So just don't get overwhelmed and focus on like your roadmap, right? Focus on the things you want to achieve for yourself. Yes, yeah, good question so far, guys. Good question. So Chukwuebuka asked, between Web3 programming and Web2 programming, which one is more difficult? Well, the answer to that question is usually very relative. is relative to your experience and your background. If you have someone like me, I would say that Web 2 is more difficult. Trust me, because a lot of things there look like gibberish. How would they put that word? It look like gibberish to me. Yeah, so it's the answer to that question is relative. The answer to that question is relative. I have a developer friend. He's a very sound guy with a lot of years of experience with Web 2, and he's struggling to understand how things work in Web 3. And there is me, who is also struggling to like do some things also in Web 2. Or for instance, Web 2 authentication is, it just annoys me a lot because of the long process that you have to go through to authenticate a user. Where in Web 3, I can easily just write a function that would sign a user in, no JWT token and all of those long things. But the answer to that question is relative, trust me. So if you miss a class, should there be a recording for follow-up? Yeah, I think so. I can see the record icon on this. So just hold the host and she will send you the video. What makes this, is this a, I think I've seen this question before. Okay. Since I don't know the application you are talking about, please just let me know the name of the application you are talking about, please. So Chukwu asked again, are there libraries that are beginner friendly to devs? Yes, 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 trust me, there are a lot of them. That's the essence of a library. That's the essence of a library. There is this um yes, there are things called libraries and SDKs, right, in the programming world. And the goal of every library, an SDK mean a SDK, yes, before the English guys come and attack me. A SDK basically means a software development kit. So the goal of every SDK or libraries to simplify things, is to make things simple, right? So any library that fails to like simplify a thing has basically lost the essence. So there are a lot of them, right? For instance, in the Ethereum world, if you want to build applications that would help you interact with the Ethereum blockchain, right? There is the ethers.js, that is ethers.js library that simplifies things for you. So instead of you having to write long lines of code to do one thing, right, you can easily just call one single method, right, and get that thing done like in just like one line basically. So that's the essence of the library, or a SDK, right, is to make your life very very easy. So there are a lot of them. Yes, same thing with the Solana. Yeah, the Solana too has like a lot of libraries. There's the SPL token library, there's the Solana Web3 library for JavaScript and all of those things. Yes, so are you referring to this meeting app? Yes, if it's referring to this meeting app, well, Odoo, as far as I know it, right, is like an hybrid application, right? An hybrid application. So what makes it Web3 is, I don't want to speak for the CEO though, but if I'm to speak from a user perspective, Odoo enables you to like sign in with Web3, and as far as their technology is declared, it is it is distinct from normal hosting applications, right? It also uses some Web3 technologies, right? So yes, it integrates both Web3 and Web2 features, and that's the goal basically, right? To make user experience very easy, right? So that's it. Yeah, so it's 6:50, and I think we should be moving closer to the end of this session. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, so guys, I'll just give you an advice. If you are if let me start from from the newbies. If you are new, right, just take programming like take it very, 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 very like important, right? At least for me, you don't want this class to end. Yeah, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like just take this as an opportunity, right, to build yourself something like that you'll be proud of in your lifetime, right? Programming is fun. For me personally, it's a roller coaster of solving problems, right? So that's basically what it is. So it's very, 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 very like it's not interesting per se, but at the same time it's also interesting. It gives you a world of opportunities, and the Web3 space, like I said when I was talking about the history and stuff, it opens the ground for a lot of things, opens the floor, creates a level playing field, right? There are a lot of opportunities. The Solana, I'm not much of a Solana person, trust me, but I I also have like an open mind, and I've seen like a lot of support coming in the Solana ecosystem, grants, hackathons, bounties, like a lot of opportunities that these guys use to support you financially, give you a community of devs doing the same thing that you are doing, and same with the Ethereum ecosystem also. So like it's just a world of endless opportunities. So is it advisable to take Web2 programming together with the bootcamp or just stick to the bootcamp? Yes. So it depends on where you are at your journey. In responding to Juke Buka's question, I gave the answer to this question from the beginner perspective. So if you are taking this bootcamp, just bear it in mind that the bootcamp will not teach you everything, right? No single bootcamp out there will teach you everything, especially when you are completely new. Because a lot of I would say, like I said, and I will just repeat it just for clarity. You are going to come across a lot of concepts that you are completely new to, right? Trust me, right? So if you get to that kind of situation, you might want to, right, improve your knowledge and sharpen it. For someone like me, I started with Web3, right? That's how I started my journey. But knowing the demands, right, from me as a developer, there were some concepts that are Web2 native that I had to go back to understand. Do you understand? So when, for instance, for me, I had to go back to learn JavaScript, like full blown JavaScript and some other languages and a lot of libraries. I had to go and understand concepts around authentication, authorization, and like a host of concepts. So if this bootcamp teaches you something, right, what it's doing, it is going to lay down a step by step process for you, right? It's going to, for instance, it's going to give you like a blueprint, right, that you can work on, a roadmap you can follow, right, to become a thriving Solana developer, and to become a an Ethereum developer. So those concepts they will teach you, like for instance, when they teach you smart contract, building tokens, building NFTs, building marketplaces, building projects, right? It's like a blueprint for you to follow. Then while you are building those applications, you come across some concept that you are new to. So it is in your interest, right, that you go and better up your knowledge on those things. It's not compulsory, trust me, it's not compulsory. But if you are someone like me that strives like for perfection, then it is better like you just go and like sharpen your knowledge, so you can be very, 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 very confident. Do you understand? And you have clear view of what it is you are doing. And it helps because you would be able to be as dynamic as possible in your approach, right, to program. Today, like the level I've got to today, I can see a tutorial or something, right? I if I'm to write the code for it, I can write it in my own way, because I know like the different approaches to things, so I don't always have to stick to one. But you can only achieve that when like you become a person of like great knowledge, right? And you are exposed to a lot of. All right. So are there any other questions? This is supposed to be like an introductory class. With time, other tutors will come. I'm very sure of that. And like start teaching new concepts and start getting down to the meat of it. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have no other questions, let me drop the microphone so you guys can move on to enjoying the rest of your day. All right.
Thank you, boss. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate taking out your time to make this introduction very, very simple. This is a great start. It's a very great start for everyone. Um, yeah, our third instructor facilitator is here, Chimekwa. So, but we'll be seeing Tochi subsequently in other classes. So, I encourage all of us to, if anybody will be made available, I encourage all of us to always be present, because the more you show up, the more it's encouraging for the facilitator to, they feel like, people can showed up for this thing, And like he said, this can be a beginning this thing for you, and maximize it, take advantage of it, and then the sky will be your starting point. Thank you so much for the day. Thank you for taking so much time with the questions. And I don't know, okay, Chimekwa is here. Just introduce yourself, and then we'll continue from tomorrow with our other facilitators. Chimekwa, just
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry for coming kind of a bit late because I told Castley that the meeting should be rescheduled by 7. I don't know. Maybe if she did not inform you on time.
Oh, that's fine. It's okay. It's fine. We did stepped in. It's fine.
Okay. So I don't know how far have we gone.
No, it's okay. Just introduce yourself. Just tomorrow we just continue with the next facilitator. It's fine.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. My name is Chimekwa Nwakama. I'm a blockchain developer. I work with a company currently here in Abuja. So I don't really know much. But I'm just a front blockchain developer. I work with a company here in Abuja. I have been in tech. I've been in blockchain for like 2 years thereabouts. So I think for I don't know that I think that's basically what I want to talk about based on this platform because I have so many other portfolio, but I don't think it's actually necessary. So let me just keep it very brief here. I think we have wasted a lot of time already. I'm very sorry for keeping you guys late. Seriously, it was not my intention. I didn't know she would not pass the message across to people. I was
It's
actually prepared. I have a slide. I have everything ready, but getting here, I saw that everybody have been here for a very long time. I'm very very sorry for coming here very late. I know that.
it's fine. You can still have opportunity to share your slide with them. So thank you. Sorry about that. Sorry about the miscommunication. So it's like we had a lot of miscommunication this period, but I'm sure we sort that all of that out. So thank you everybody for showing up. Like I said, the someone asked about the time frame. How long would this last? So it's actually dependent on the class and the facilitator, however they want to take it. But I think we'd always start between 6 and 7. So we always communicate the time, and then of course you already know the days based on the timetable. So don't hesitate to ask any question in the group, like any if you need any assistance or anything. Don't hesitate to ask for it. So thank you again, Tochi. Thank you, Mide. Thank you, Chimekwa. Thank you, every other person that showed up for today's class. I'm subsequently will be recording them, so you have access to all of them. We hope that this yields so much result for you, and it's good a certain point for you into this Web3 space of endless opportunities, as Mide said. All right. So at this point, wow, two people just joined. Oh, those people are just joining now. What are we going to do? Oh my god.
Okay.
Um.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I have a question. I don't know if it is appropriate for me to ask here or I should ask in the group.
Um. Who is asking? Is that Chimekwa?
Chimekwa, yes.
If you have to do with us directly, we can talk about it. You don't have to ask me here.
Okay. Maybe I will just ask in the group.
Yeah. 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 Sure. 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 So if you're just joining, unfortunately you're late. So let's give you much chocolate. You're late for today's class. So I'll make the recording available so you can catch up. It's really a great introduction. So don't even fake listen. So make sure you listen to it ahead of tomorrow. While we have as the guest facilitator takes us tomorrow. All right. Thank you again. So I don't have to keep you longer than I should. Good night, everybody, and share your in the group. In the group, just share. Share, talk about it, and all of that in the group. How your experience was, and all of that. What stood out for you, and all. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
You're welcome, new traveler.